here I am. Just left Joseph's house. I'm going to Osaka. Bye bye. As I was leaving Joseph, stepping through the door, embarking on my journey towards Osaka, I thought about some of the things he shared during my stay with him. Now at the station, walking to my Airbnb. I didn't manage to get a host or a homestay, so I just booked a B&B for 7 nights. Wanted to do half and half, but I think carrying the bag is quite a torture, so prefer to do just one shot. Okay, sorry, back to Joseph. Despite his overwhelming love for Japan, he does have difficulty forming new friends and connections here, and he does think about returning back to America sometimes. But then on some days when he takes a walk, the vibes and beauty of Japan hits him, and he remembered why he loved it here in the first place, and loses all thoughts of leaving, despite everything. That got me thinking, some self-reflection if you would, as a traveler. The world is really beautiful, and so are our lives. But how much is all this beauty really worth if you don't have anyone to share the joy with? First impressions of Osaka downtown? I don't know. It feels like it's still Japan. I mean, just my own impression. The vibes like decadent. I know. I mean, more free Japan. Do I like it? Yeah, I actually like it. Feels like people in Tokyo are constantly watching their bags. But in Osaka, people are more free. I actually like it. So that's my first impression. Right across me is Joseph. I've been with him for this is the 4th night, and we are nearby Warabi, Kawaguchi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just south of Saitama. Hi, Joseph.
Hey.
Hey, firstly, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so, my name is Joseph. I'm 19 years old, and I'm actually from New York City in America.
Yeah.
I've been in Japan for a year now. October 13th has made a year. And what I'm doing in Japan is I'm currently an English teacher at a Japanese middle school and elementary school, and trying to figure out, what I'm going to do from here, and, what I plan on doing in the future if I decide to stay here long term and everything, yeah.
Challenges you found in Japan when you just moved here, or even now?
Okay, the challenge is definitely making friends, and it's hard because, the language barrier. If you definitely plan on coming to Japan long term, definitely need to learn Japanese. Like, that is something that needs to be done above all else, because it's going to be hard to make friends. The dating is going to be hard. Going out is going to be hard in some places, believe it or not, or not accept you, in their building, like some restaurants or some places, because they cannot communicate with you. So it's just really difficult if you don't know Japanese. Even basic Japanese is okay, because they see that you're trying and they're more willing to help you out. So that's definitely some of the big challenges, is definitely the language barrier.
Tell us about one most interesting experience that you want to share. What about it?
One interesting experience that I had.
Yeah. Two, one, up to you.
I think it's interesting because the Japanese people are not really confrontational. So they don't really, want to go up to you. It's really you would have to go up to them. So one experience that I found that was pretty interesting is that I had an older lady come up to me and asked to be friends with me when I was shopping at a grocery store. I definitely found that interesting because that never really happens, especially if you're a foreigner. So that was definitely one really good experience that I had. That was pretty interesting because it was not what I expected to happen at all.
What's the reason for hosting people, and would you do that in the future?
Well, the reason why I really started hosting people is because I'm not going to say I don't have any friends, but like I wanted to meet new people because I definitely do plan on traveling around the world too. And it's always good, making connections with, people from all over the world, making friends too. Everybody's different. So I just wanted to meet a lot of different people and see if I can make any connections. And with what I continue hosting in the future, I definitely want to continue hosting in the future and get better at it.
Can you say something like maybe 2 or 3 things you like and hate about New York, and same for Japan? Maybe
Okay.
New York first.
Okay, so 2 things that I love about New York is that there's never a dull moment. There's always something happening and you can always find anything to do because there's everything going on. Another thing that I love about New York is, well, some people, it's like a love-hate relationship, but I love Times Square. And the reason because it's fun. It's fun. And the reason why it's fun is because there's people out there that they do harass you. That's why I'm saying it's like a love-hate relationship because they do try to get money from you, but it's fun at the same time because, for example, in New York City or Times Square, there's a guy in a cowboy hat and just underwears, like very tight thong-looking underwears, playing a guitar, and he expects you to give him money, which you always get a good laugh in Times Square. But the one things that I do hate though, here's some things. The roaches and the dirtiness. The streets are piled up with trash. That is completely true. And there are crackheads out on the street screaming at like 5 a.m. waking you up. Who wants to hear a crackhead screaming? Not me. Not me. And nobody also wants to see a roach crawl up your leg on the subway station. Very traumatizing. That's what I hate about New York. And then 2 things that I love about Japan, now since we're here. Oh my God, 2 things is too little. I kind of almost love everything here, to be honest. But if I had to choose 2, it would be definitely the temples, because come on. And the cherry blossoms. I love the cherry blossoms. If I could buy a cherry blossom tree myself, I would. Oh my God, there's just so much. I love the food. I love the people. I love the culture. I love the fashion. The fashion in Japan is really elite. It really is. And like sometimes I'd be walking down the street in pajamas. I'm like, yeah, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. And then some things that I don't like about Japan, that's really hard. I mean, some things that I don't like about Japan, but they all have a reason for it. Like for onsens, for example, they won't accept you if you have tattoos. But I understand why, because of the culture or the history that they had with people who had tattoos and how they associated tattoos with. So I understand that, but I wouldn't say I hate that though. See, hating Japan is so hard or not liking something. Another thing I would say if I had to choose is, oh my God, it's really not a lot. Japan's beautiful. I love it.
Nice.
So something I would tell myself 5 years later, right? Continue to work hard and please do not get comfortable. And what I mean by don't get comfortable, because there's this saying, like when you start getting comfortable, that's where all your dreams and your ambitions start to leave, because you have like this sense of comfortability. So you're content with where you're at. But I don't want to be just comfortable and content with how I'm living. I want to do better and reach to greater heights and do more of myself. So that's what I would tell myself. Just don't get too comfortable and continue to work hard. That's what I would tell myself. And still enjoy life while you're working hard. Don't forget to enjoy. It's most important.
So last question, what advice will you give for people who want to move here?
Learn Japanese, please, because your experience in Japan would be 30, 50, 100 times better if you have some sort of Japanese speaking ability. You would be able to make friends a lot easier, go to clubs, and that's really what it is. Just if you're going to come here long term, even just visiting, definitely have some type of Japanese language skills with you. That's what I would give advice to. That's how.
Yeah, that's really solid advice. Okay, thank you, Joseph.
Of course, thank you.
Yeah.